C.J. Stroud, who lost to Lamar, is at 1, and Sauce at 2. Jamar Chase at 3, and Sewell at 5. Greg, are you okay with this for Purdy?
I am. I'm very okay with this with Purdy. Look, when we talk about the players under 24 years of age, and we look at that list, like, Brock Purdy deserves to be on that list. I have absolutely no problem with his performance, with the team that he has, with how he's continued to progress and continue to improve. Like, I no longer worry about Brock Purdy as being the weakest link, simply because of what I saw in the most important moments of him playing in the game. We just talked about it with Lamar.
But he didn't play well in the playoffs. He didn't. He didn't. He played the worst
against when he needed it. And again, I was on that side of the table all last year, right next to you, and I was lockstep. But in the moments where he needed to step up against Detroit, he did it. When he had to come back and play well in the second half, he did that. Against in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, the question was, shoot, can he outplay Patrick Mahomes? Well, no one believes he can outplay Patrick Mahomes, but can he at least battle Patrick Mahomes? Well, guess what? He did. He made it a competitive game, and he actually put his team in a position to where they could have won that game. And so when I look at what Brock Purdy has done, and that's not even talking about the regular season, which we gave, I'm not going to even say we. I gave a lot of credit to Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, all the supporting cast all around him, even his head coach. But I yet was to give the credit to Brock Purdy. I am now giving the credit to Brock Purdy too. Brock Purdy deserves to be on that list.
So here's the problem. Does he deserve to be on the list? Sure. But the list is top 25, under 25, and it's ordered. Is Brock Purdy better than Penei Sewell? The best right tackle in the league? Not the best right tackle under any age. No, of course he's not. Is Brock Purdy better than Amon-Ra St. Brown? No, he's not. There's more. Is Brock Purdy better than Kyle Hamilton, who might be the best defensive player in the league, is certainly the best?
I don't even know how to see.
Right, but they did it. But they did. They ordered it. And is Brock Purdy better than Pat Surtain, the second, who might be the best corner in football? See, he deserves to be on the list. He is in front of a lot of guys who are the best in the league at their position or on the very short list of among the best. And he's not that. He's not the best quarterback, and he's not on the short list of the 4 or 5 best quarterbacks.
So,
even his biggest supporters don't think he is.
Can I ask you this question? So if we take last year, and we look at Brock Purdy, and I was there. I'm not going to remove myself. I was there.
So what swayed you was a ball bouncing off the face mask of a lion and turning into a touchdown? That's what swayed you? Like, what are we talking? Him missing passes to win a Super Bowl? That cost Jimmy G his job. That's what swayed you? But go ahead.
Hey, look. All I'm saying is, when he's needed to play and perform, he did it in the postseason. I didn't have expectations on him playing the way he did in the postseason. Neither did you. I don't believe Wilds did, or Brew, when he was sitting in this very seat, did either. Which is why we would refuse to say he's the best player, or whatever the case may be. However, what I will say about Brock Purdy is, if we're going to say that he was not the best or one of the best at his position, then what are we looking at? What measure are we using with him versus everyone else? Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best receivers in the game, yes. However, is he the best? No. Brock Purdy, because we say Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best in the game.
But he's not the best. I understand.
Because statistically, when we look at Brock Purdy, statistically, it says he's one of the best in the game.
So here's my problem with this list. Because I could add Trent McDuffie, who's first-team All-Pro at corner, who was on the list. Linderbaum, who might be the best center now that Jason Kelsey's retired. He was on the list. But, again, all these guys behind Purdy. Every single one of those guys that I mentioned, every single one of them, Wilds can get mad at this thought process, but it's fine. It's how I do it. You can take off their team, drop on any team in the league, and they help them. Every single one of them. They work. There's not a team in the league that's like, Penei Sewell doesn't work there. There's not a team in the league that Kyle Hamilton doesn't work there. I think there's only 4 or 5 teams that Brock Purdy does work. I think you need to have excellent skill positions. I think you need to have a brilliant play caller. I think you need to have the Shanahan tree, whether it's Slowick or Mike McDaniel, all those things. So having him ahead of guys who I know are plug and play awesome for anybody, I think is disrespectful to those guys. That's all. I didn't say he shouldn't be on the list. I didn't say he's bad. He is getting a lot of rope for losing the Super Bowl for a guy that loves quarterback wins, but he
didn't lose the Super Bowl in regular time.
Well,
Did he lose?
I mean, he didn't.
Walked off
he
the
didn't
time
win in regular time.
I know.
The
neutral.
Okay, I think those guys are better. I think Aiden Hutchinson, who he's ahead of on the list, is better than Brock Purdy.
Did they play?
They did.
Did he play? Was Amon-Ra St. Brown on that team?
Yes.
He's
So it was
looking at
Penei
like
Sewell. Conflict or contradictory to feel have massive questions about the Cowboys' ability to win a championship while also being fully confident they're going to be in the tournament.
Okay.
This team dominates its division and dominates at home in the regular season. If you do those things, particularly in the NFC, which, while I think better than it was last year, is not the stronger of the two conferences, or the deeper of the two conferences, I should say, you're not going to miss the playoffs. We can show you both. The Cowboys the last 2 years in the division, the best team in the league, highest scoring team in the league, blow everybody out. And we can say, oh, it's tomato cans or whatever. That division didn't get better. I mean, it might have gotten better long term with Jaden Daniels coming there, but the Commanders all of a sudden aren't going to be great. The Giants are still the Giants, and the Eagles, last I saw, they were falling apart. So then what about at home? The Cowboys at home. They are as good as any team in the league, the best actually, in the regular season. And so the NFC this year gets 9 home games, 8 road, because that flips year to year. So what are we talking, like, they're 6-3. Let's say they have the worst home year they've had in years and go 6-3. You have road games against the Giants, Washington, and Carolina. You're just baked in at a minimum 9 wins before you have to win one tough road game. So no, I don't think there's any chance they miss the postseason Wilds.
Greg, can I pitch you on a 9-8 season?
You don't even have to pitch me.
Lose at the Browns. Lose at home against Lamar. Lose in Pittsburgh. Lose again against the Lions, even though you won the game. Lose at San Francisco again, and then you get the San Francisco hangover effect after getting beat up. You go to Atlanta, you lose that one. You lose to Joe Burrow in your building, and then you split with Philly, you lose there. That's 9-8. And I'm giving you the win over C.J. Stroud that I felt tepid about. So that's my pitch for 9-8.
Yeah, I think there is a chance they miss the postseason because we're basing, and listening to even you, Nick, you're basing a lot of who they have been off of previous years. And moving forward, this is not a roster that has made a lot of moves. Not that they needed to. However, when you're looking at teams around you and you talk about the Washington Commanders, a team in interdivision teams.
That's a good take.
And you say, okay, they're not better. Huh? They're going to be more competitive. The Giants, I'll talk about the Giants. The Giants defensively are going to challenge the Cowboys even more this year than they did last year. Clearly, we know that. The Eagles, I believe that they have a lot of tension there, but they also have a lot of upside because of what we've seen them do. So they're going to compete. I don't think this is just the Dallas Cowboys last year where they're just going to cruise through their division, cruise through the NFC. The NFC North, in my opinion, has the better chance of 3 teams making it into the postseason
I agree with
than any other division. So there is a chance that the Dallas Cowboys miss out.
So here, listen, I want to. You made a good point, so I want to clarify a bit of what I was saying. I do think Washington will be better than it was last year when they had the number 2 pick of the draft. My point, so I shouldn't have said exactly that. My point is Washington's not all of a sudden, in my opinion, a good team. I think Washington is still a team that if you're a good team, you expect to beat even in Washington. The Giants' defense, with the addition of Brian Burns, absolutely should be better. Unfortunately for the offense, they might be starting Drew Lock. I don't know what they're doing. Sorry, they might be starting Drew Lock, but regardless, I think the Giants are positioned to possibly be the worst team in the conference this year, depending on what happens with Bryce Young and Carolina. So go ahead.
Here's one caveat with the Washington Commanders. I'll hand it right back to you. You now have your head coach knows that team down in Dallas.
Oh, I do like that.
He knows the offense. He knows that quarterback. He knows that defense. He is going to have them. If nothing else, Washington, the Commanders will split with the Cowboys.
I like that.
Okay.
That's why I feel like the Cowboys have a chance to miss out. I'm not saying that they are, but if for
I do
this
like
topic,